this particular information to this particular company. So then the promotion managers, of course, they need to have a certain base of decision based on dia punya personal experience. If this particular thing happen, so apa yang, and dia akan rujuk balik kepada the past histories of marketing activities which has been conducted earlier on. So for the similar brands. So then dia akan ikut trends tu. So then apa yang akan berlaku. So itulah yang boleh digunakan untuk communication objective. Senang cerita, sales objective dia akan nampak something which the company can able to quantify, and dia straight boleh nampak effect kepada sales volume. Communication objective kalau dia dekat dalam that particular communication objective boleh masukkan, cuma it is difficult itself for you to estimate, because of there is no numerical, tak ada something yang you boleh quantify, cuma based on whatever the experience that you have from the previous brand ataupun previous company's product that you have implement earlier on. Okay. Break 3 minit, sakit tekak.
Boleh,
puasa ni tak
madam,
boleh minum.
boleh. Take your time,
Bulan
madam.
puasa ni tak boleh minum air kan?
Daus hilang. Pergi minum lah tu.
Pergi minum lah tu. Tak baik tuduh bulan Ramadan,
Tak
dosa.
Ish.
Semua orang balik raya bila? Semua orang raya dekat KL je.
Saya raya KL.
Apalah artinya berhari raya di Kuala Lumpur?
Tak ada kampung.
Tak ada kampung. Kesiannya. Ya
Tak
Allah.
tahulah, madam.
Atuk nenek dah tak ada orang.
Oh, ya
Dah
ke?
tak ada
Allah.
orang.
Dah tak ada orang kat kampung lah, which is atuk dengan
Dah
nenek dah
meninggal.
meninggal. Just like my situation lah. Last year, I'm celebrating, I celebrate Hari Raya dekat KL because of my husband, dia punya, which is family dia, mak dia and everything, semua orang KL kan. So then dia rasa macam yang, first time my kahwin dulu, I rasa macam yang, raya kat KL, kenapa macam tak best je?
Tak rasa vibe kampung.
Tak ada rasa vibe tau.
Betul.
Siapa nak masuk?
Tanya.
Rania terkeluar ke tadi? Okay. So then like this year, so I'm going back to my kampung. Bestnya balik kampung.
Kat mana, madam?
Bandar Baru Kedah.
Oh, nasib baik Bandar Baru Kedah bukan Bandar Baru Bangi.
Tak.
Bila madam balik?
Jauh.
Bandar Baru Kedah. So balik Kedah kita tahun ni bersama-sama lah berharap untuk jam.
Bukan ada lebuh raya, Miss? Madam.
Kalau plus highway guarantee jam. So then might probably I'm taking into consideration nak lalu WCE.
Oh, WCE. Yang baru ni kan?
Yes, WCE dah siap. Sebab hari tu dia sampai ke Beruas sahaja. So Beruas kena masuk jalan dalam, jalan kampung. So now Beruas highway tu dekat WCE dah siap, Cangkat Jering, so then boleh straight Beruas, Terung, and then boleh keluar kat Cangkat Jering, boleh tembus balik semula dekat Plus highway.
Nanti kira madam lalu Sabak Benam Teluk Intan ke?
Betul. So
WCE tu
keluar
belakang rumah
daripada,
saya je.
oh ya ke? So lalu kat Kuala Selangor dulu, so lalu jalan tu lah, jalan tu dulu kan. So dan baru dah masuk sebab dia ada halfway macam highway, halfway tak macam highway. Sebab dia ada
Betul.
jalan yang intercity tu kan. So yang kat situ nak kena careful lah sebab ada orang kampung buat U-turn, ada binatang
betul.
lalu lalang.
Jauh kat tu.
Hmm.
Pas Selangor, Tanjung Karang, Sekincang, Sungai Besar, Sabak Benam, Kelantan.
Betul.
Itu dah beli baju raya?
Oh, I dah tempah baju raya.
Warna apa, madam?
Jingga. Warna oren.
Tapi tak pergi ambil kat tailor lagi lah because my tailor is actually in Penang. So then I nak balik kampung kan. So
Oh.
then my kampung dekat dengan Penang. So which is like driving 30 minit je. Sebab dulu I work dekat UiDF Penang. So dah biasa dengan tailor tu kan. So bila balik kampung terus hantar kat dia. So then preparation of the baju raya dah tempah lah 8 pasang.
8 pasang guys.
8.
8 pasang tu madam
Tapi
sahaja
raya
ke?
ada 3 raya ada 30 hari, madam.
Itulah tu kan. So then cukup lah untuk collection baru, untuk baju masuk mengajar.
Faham.
So then kalau orang perempuan dia ada banyak baju kan, dia nak tukar pusing-pusing kan.
Nanti
So
madam
then
pakai lah untuk kelas kita orang.
of course. Dia akan berpusing-pusing
Minggu
lah nanti
raya.
baju-baju tu yang ada kan. Okey lah kiranya. Preparation adalah sikit-sikit lagi nak habiskan. Because my father asked me, katakan, jomlah kita buat barbecue during Hari Raya pula. Also can. Okay, boleh. So then some of the items mungkin nak kena beli terus kot daripada KL, senang sikit. Nanti takut balik kampung, nanti semua barang pergi ke supermarket nanti kan takut habis pula.
Betul-betul.
And then stock nanti takut sampai lambat kan. Sebab I dah balik dah quite lambat juga lah, which is hari Ahad.
Raya hari apa?
Raya hari Selasa.
Rabu.
Rabu.
Oh. Daus confidence Selasa.
Raya awal.
Daus raya awal sehari ke? Puasa dekat Indonesia.
Dia nampak 6 bulan
Indonesia
awal
kan
sikit
awal.
madam.
Indonesia kan awal.
Bulan awal sehari.
Okay, shall we continue? Sikit lagi.
Let's go.
Okay, so the next one, which is on these items, which is we are going to discuss on DAGMAR. So DAGMAR is actually an acronym for defining advertising goals for measured advertising result. So this one is actually a model that being introduced by Colley in 1961, which this particular model is being set up to set the advertising objective and also to measure the results of the advertising campaign. So this actually an acronym lah. So Colley proposed that the communication task will be done based on the hierarchical punya model of the communication process, which is it depends on the awareness, comprehension, conviction, and also action. So this actually the communication task. When we talk about awareness which is mean that here kalau kita tengok macam hierarchical, so of course you kena start dengan dia punya the bottom one. So the bottom one will be the awareness. So awareness is actually when if the company they are going to come up with an advertising, they try to make the consumer aware about that particular brand and also about that particular company lah. So if that particular company, for example, they want to launch this particular baju Hari Raya collection, so then they need to create awareness for that particular brand or for that particular baju kurung. So after they manage to create the awareness, next they go to the second phase from the bottom ataupun from the base of the hierarchy, which is the comprehension. So comprehension, which is mean that here the company, they are going to develop the understanding of what the product is and what that particular product will do for that particular customer. Contohnya kalau baju Hari Raya tadi, and then dia akan cakap lah baju Hari Raya ni ada design apa, color apa, size apa, and then for that particular comprehension of that particular understanding for the that particular product and also advertising. So the next one, it will go to the conviction. So conviction actually when company they try to develop a mental disposition in that particular consumer to buy that particular product, which is mean kita dah buat customer kena beli baju raya ni, and then baju raya ni okay ada size A, size S, sekian. So now dia kena buat cara untuk consumer membeli this particular product, and conviction normally customer company dia akan letaklah all this particular promotion punya activities. Kalau beli baju ni dapat percuma tudung, and then kalau beli baju ni you akan dapat glowing sepanjang masa. So all this particular conviction they are trying to use it to make sure that whatever the advertisement that you or the company create earlier on akan dapat dia punya result, which is the good ending. And then in terms of the action, which is getting the consumer to purchase that particular products relatively. So many promotion planner use this particular model as a basic to set their objective and also to assess the effectiveness of the promotion campaign conducted by the company. So basic to say that when it comes to Dagmar, the objective or the characteristics of the objective for creating Dagmar is actually when they need to have a concrete and measurable task, which is concrete and measurable task of which is the communication task. In other words, they need to come up with a precise statement of words, precise statements of appeal or message that you want to convey to this particular customer, as you want to communicate with that particular customer, as they want to they manage to receive and also understand the message that you want to convey. So then the second one, you need to have a well-defined target audience, which is you need to have a specific target audience that will describe the variables that you want to focus on, which is you nak focus on, kalau market, you boleh divide according to market segmentation. You nak buat based on demographic ke, geographic ke, psychographic ke, behavior ke. So then you need to identify the well-defined of your target audience. So who would be on that? So kalau you kata you buat baju ni, and then baju ni fokus untuk budak-budak, untuk kanak-kanak. So then basically the target market siapa, and siapa yang you patut enhance this particular advertisement to. And then the next one, company also need to have the specific objective, which is the benchmark and also the chain sort. So here we are looking in terms of the market, we need to understand the target market present punya position, how they are going to respond to whatever the things campaign that you want to convey later on. So you cannot judge the success of the campaign based on the current position, because of you need to have a benchmark. Dulu kita buat apa, sekarang kita buat apa. So you need to determine the target market presence position regarding the response punya stage. So kena tengoklah juga benchmark dia. Kalau dulu kita buat macam gini, and then purchasing power of the customer macam ni. So sekarang pula kalau buat macam gini, nanti jual macam gini, customer boleh beli ke tak? Sebab itulah kalau tengok one of the Maidin punya advertisement, kalau I tak silap, Maidin ada jual baju Melayu yang berharga RM5. Baru semalam kot dia come up with that particular advertisement. Tak silap I lah. And so then people will say that, oh, thank you very much, Maidin, for giving this particular item, because of Maidin, dia well identify, well define who is actually the target market and who would be the target audience for that particular products. So of course, the company also need to have a specific period which the goal should be accomplished, and it will range between a few days, which is the specific time period, which is few days ataupun 1 year or even more. Okay, so the last one, which is how the company can able to establish and allocate the promotion budget. Company has come up with all those particular activities earlier on. Now, they need to think of berapa budget yang kita nak keluar. Apa budget yang kita nak keluar. So, budgeting decision has a many significant impact, not only for that particular firm, but also it will impact people who are involved directly and indirectly during that particular matters. So the budget decision is not only a one-time punya responsibility, because of new budget is being formulated every year. Sebab you dah ada budget this year, and then next year kena revise balik budget this year, tengok okay ke tak okay, and then apa yang you nak kena baiki, so then the next year you akan ada budget yang baru. So each time new product is being introduced in the market, company need to come up with a budget. It can be in terms of internal or it can be in terms of external factors, which it can change or to maintain the competitiveness of the company in that particular market. So in order to establish the budget, there will be two way of interaction for the company itself, which is mean they need to interact within that particular company, of course, with the company that going to help you in terms of conducting all this particular promotion. So in the meantime, which is mean that here, budget normally is being used as an expenses rather than the investment, because of people will say that tahun ni kita keluarkan budget banyak ni lah, 300,000 untuk buat yang ni. Tapi dia tak fikirkan, if you don't spend, so then it doesn't fall under your expenses, macam mana you nak dapat untung? So which is mean that here company should view whatever the things that you spend, it is an investment. Contohnya lah, kalau macam Daud pun dia ada girlfriend, so then Daud kena buat investment. So then kena bawa keluar dating, dah keluar dating nak kena pergi makan, dah nak makan lepas tu tengok wayang, lepas tu kadang-kadang birthday dia nak kena celebrate, belilah kek satu slice.
Betul.
So itu semua adalah investment. Sebab because of you want to get whatever the things that you want to attain by the end of the day. As also same goes with the company. So when establish the budget, the economic theories and the marginal analysis here, we are looking in terms of the contribution to the margin. So then the contribution of the margin here, we are looking in terms of the differences between the total revenue generated for that particular brand as the total variable cost that the company need to engage in. So then kena tengoklah variable cost, fixed cost tambah dengan variable cost, and then variable cost tu apa yang incur, and then kalau nak kurangkan cost, apa yang you patut kena buat, and then dengan berapa banyak jumlah sales yang you nak buat, darablah dengan this particular selling price, you dapatlah total revenue you berapa after minus all of these particular items, barulah kita boleh tengok sama ada the company can manage to get the profitability. So basically to say that company they need to spend in order for them to earn more. So then by having that particular expenses, you put it under investment. Whatever you invest, you need to identify the way to get back your investment. So kalau orang tu buat biskut raya, dia dah spend beli mesin RM3,000, so then dia kena fikir banyak biskut raya yang dia kena produce, berapa banyak biskut raya yang dia kena jual, berapa banyak marketing yang dia kena buat untuk dia dapat balik the investment of RM3,000 dia tadi. So that is actually the things that the company need to take into consideration. So these are some of the conclusion of the research of advertising in recession. Because of during recession, normally it's quite hectic for the company to advertise the product. So then they need to identify the economic cycles, and then they need to identify the compelling reasons why they kena cut the budget. Because of normally bila hujung-hujung company dah buat budget, okay lah, kita nak dapat untung banyak. Tapi lepas tu you cut budget advertising. So, bila you tak buat advertising, mana orang nak tahu pasal produk you? Product awareness dah jadi kurang. So, dan macam mana orang nak beli produk you? So, selalunya company bila dia nak untung, dia nak fikir, oh you nak untung, tapi advertisement you cut budget. So, dia macam tak tally tau. So then basically that the company, they need to think of how they should increase the sales even before the recession and also after the recession. So then it's not about cutting down your advertisement, but you need to identify the platform or the media chose by the company, and you might probably choose the one that might probably have a bigger impact to the customers. So in order to establish and allocate the promotion budget, of course, there will be a sales response to the model. And then this one is only, you manage to see that there will be a concave downward, and also there is a shape response functions, which is as amount of advertising increase, of course lah, value, it will be incremental value decreases over the times, sebab budget budgeting under this model suggests that kalau dah advertising tu kita kurangkan, of course lah sales tu pun tak akan jadi tinggi. Okay, and then kalau untuk S-shaped response curve, normally budget is outlay against according to the level. So then if you increase the expenditure, so then there will be increase in sales. As sometimes akan ada jugalah tak ada benefits of it. But the weaknesses of using here is actually a very limited lah. It depends on that particular matters. So companies normally they use the S-shaped response function because of sometimes the advertising budget is likely it has no impact on the sales, but it depends on the other means. Contohnya tiba-tiba produk you jadi viral kan, you buat macam ni. Tapi tiba-tiba produk you jadi viral, tiba-tiba dapat banyak. So it depends actually on the part of considered that the company should take into consideration. So this one factors that can influence advertising budget, contohnya kalau nak tengok differentiation, advertising relationship dengan sales, okay ke tak, and then kalau concentration of users and everything, boleh tengoklah dekat sini how does it can come up with the effects for each one of this particular matter. So this one, factors that the company can take into consideration when it comes to the budget setting. So these are the factors that can affect the budget setting. Kalau you change your marketing strategy, of course lah, budget dia akan increase. So then apa yang akan impact kepada sales, boleh dapat ke tak boleh dapat. So it depends lah on that particular matter. So by it comes on that, there will be two versions of top-down versus bottom-up punya approach to budget setting. So top-down, which is mean that here the top management, they are going to set the spending limit lah, which is mean the top management, dia akan allocate, okay, marketing department tahun ni kita orang bagi 2 juta aja. Okay, so then you need to ensure lah, you need to work along that particular 2 juta tu saja. And then you need to stay input within that particular limits of what the top management already set for the department. So the spending level normally it depends on whatever the predetermined that you kena buat lah. So then you might probably hari tu plan nak buat ini and then cuma dapat budget 2 juta. So then you kena work around that particular item. Kena tengoklah balik, ni kena buat, mungkin kena buat 4 kali, ni kena buat ni banyak kali. So then TikTok sepatutnya kena buat macam gini. So then you kena revise balik. So if the bottom up punya approach is actually based on the consideration of the firm's predetermined communication punya objective lah. So that which is mean the budget is actually being driven by the objective attained. So then kalau management rasa kita patut spend that particular amount of money, okay, kita akan approve. So yang ini daripada bottom to up. So what are the factors that the company can consider when they want to allocate the budget? So basically, the first one is allocating to the IMC element. So some companies, of course, they make an effort to become more innovative and efficient in allocating these particular portions of budget. Contohnya macam company dia ada traditional IMC and then dia ada non-traditional juga. So then dia akan foresee lah yang mana satu yang kena lebih, yang mana satu yang kena kurang, and then the client and agency punya policy, they might probably some disagreement over the money that you should go to spend more. Contohnya, okay, agency kata kita kena sepatutnya spend dekat sales promotion banyak, tapi company kata tak boleh lah, and then this particular decision will impact whatever the success of the past success. You kena tengoklah baik semula. Last year you recommend kata kena buat macam gini, tapi macam tak berapa okay je. So then kita tukarlah sikit kita punya game plan. Tahun ni instead of focus on sales promotion, mungkin kita focus on social media. So then itu kena ada a point of agreement between the clients and also the agency. And then in terms of the market size, normally it depends on the market itself. So if the market is smaller, it is easier for you to reach lah. But when it comes to larger market. So then, of course, it is very expensive and difficult for the company to reach itself. And then in terms of the market potential, a market with a low sales but high potential may be a candidate for the additional punya appropriateness lah. So then kalau market potential tu nampak competitors tak ramai and then you buat, so then ada tendency untuk company dapat profitability yang tinggi, so then company might probably embark on that. And then there is a market share goals. Does the company want to maintain ataupun increase the market share? Yang itu pun dia kena think of. And then the economics of scales. The larger advertisers normally can maintain the advertising shares within that particular market shares. And then also in terms of the organization characteristics, which is the company need to think about the influence on the budget allocation for the company itself. So by the end, the organization characteristics also will influence on the advertising and promotion budget. Basically, it depends itself, as I mentioned earlier on, the organization structure, whether you focus on centralized or you focus on decentralized, or you are having your in-house. Because this one, it depends on the complexity of the company, the products that you have in the company. And then in terms of the power and also the politics, you need to have this particular interaction. Politik tu bukan politik kat luar je tau. Politik dekat dalam company tu pun akan ada. Sebab dia akan ada level of interaction between functional department and with another functional departments. And then nanti marketing department kata, tak boleh, you kena ikut kita orang. Yang ini pula department yang kata, tak boleh, kita orang kena ikut yang ini pula. So then yang itu kena ada a good politic within in the company itself. And then might probably company can take into consideration to use the expert punya opinion, for example, getting advice daripada consultant, or might probably daripada trade punya companies, ataupun daripada mana-mana journals ataupun publication yang dah dibuat oleh academics yang menunjukkan okay, you kena buat macam ni, and then hasil dapatan dia adalah macam ni. And then the characteristics of the decision maker itself, what is actually their preferences, the top management nak apa, and then the experience diorang sebelum ni macam mana, and then the approval and negotiation punya channels, how many approvals yang nak kena dapat, nanti dah keluarkan budget, lepas tu kena pergi kat sini, kena pergi sini, kena pergi sini, banyak sangat dia punya stages dia, approval tu susah. And then is there any approval limitation, and then the last one, which is the pressure on the senior manager to arrive at optimal budget itself, which is mean it is more important than economic downturn lah. So then nak kena tengok lah senior manager cakap apa pula, budget ni boleh okay ke tak. So basically these are the things that the company need to take into consideration when they want to come up with this particular advertising and promotion itself. So Sadaqallahul Azim for chapter berapa ni? Chapter 2. Any questions that you want to ask?
So far not yet. Daus ada Daus?
Dah usah hilang ke?
Ada line slow.
Line slow. Any questions? No. If there is no question, so today I dah habiskan terus chapter 2. So then esok tak ada kelas lah kan? Esok cuti je. Untunglah esok cuti. Esok cuti kan? Nuzul Quran kan? Betul ke? Betul kan?
Betul.
Okay.
Good.
So then insyaAllah next week we are going to discuss on chapter 3, and then I managed to see that ada beberapa orang yang dah beli textbook. So then nanti once kalau kita dah masuk kelas, I akan gunakan that particular textbook untuk kelas hari Khamis. Kita akan the tutorials, the discussion question by using that particular textbooks accordingly. Okay. So for time being, for those who already bought that particular textbook, you can go through, baca and everything. I also already put some reading materials that the student can read first before you can prepare yourself before masuk kelas. Okay, if there is no other question, I would say that thank you very much everyone for your attendance today. And then insyaAllah, I will see you all again next week. Selamat berbuka puasa petang nanti. Hafizul Quran, everyone.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome.